Hello, my name is Cecily Dumlao, and today I'll be talking about the Deepwater Horizon oil spill that occurred in the Gulf of Mexico, USA in 2010. This presentation includes global oil spill trend, Deepwater Horizon oil spill overview, recovery response, ecological, economic, and health impact, summary, and a list of references. The purpose of the presentation is to provide a global oil spill trend, brief overview of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, and the ecological, economic, and health impact. Oil spill is the deep release of a liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into the environment, especially the marine ecosystem, due to human activity and is a form of pollution. The number of large spills, which is over 700 tons, had been decreasing since the 1970s due to increased inspection and maintenance. In the 1970s, the average number of oil spills were 79, and in 2010, the average was only 6 spills, a 90% decrease. On April 20, 2010, the oil drilling rig Deepwater Horizon, operating in Macondo Prospect in the Gulf of Mexico, exploded and sank. 11 rig workers died and 115 others were successfully evacuated. Crude oil and gases buried deep beneath the seafloor began leaking from the oil well 5,000 feet down. Wind, waves, and currents spread the oil across the ocean's surface to form a slick, which eventually covered around 68,000 square miles of water, as shown in the map. About 205 barrels of oil flowed from the damaged Macondo well over an 87-day period before it was finally capped on July 15, 2010. As a result, the Deepwater Horizon oil spill is the second biggest oil spill worldwide. It is difficult to clean up spilled oil into the ocean, especially when you're dealing with million barrels. There are those two spills alike. The amount and type of oil and local environment conditions make it harder to plan for spills ahead of time. As part of the recovery response efforts, various chemical dispersants were used. The Deepwater Horizon oil spill budget figure explains what happened to the oil that was spilled. Thanks to the robust federal response efforts, a vast majority of the oil was either burned, skimmed, recovered from the wellhead, or dispersed. Over 26% of the oil, either on or just below the surface, as light sheen and water tar balls, has washed ashore or been collected from the shore or is buried in sand and sediments. 25% of the oil naturally evaporated or dissolved. 16% was dispersed, either naturally or as a result of the cleanup. And lastly, 25% of the oil released from the wellhead was removed by either burning, skimming, or direct recovery. The oil spill had a negative impact on the ecological environment. The Gulf of Mexico is home to a wide variety of species, such as dolphins, whales, birds, and fishes. After the disaster event, over 1,000 dolphins were found stranded along the shore. About 170 turtles died, and 1 million seabirds were affected. Even deep water corals were found with signs of tissue damage. The number of fish impacted by the event is largely unknown. However, the oil spill caused fishing closures across 885,000 square miles. The event also impacted the economy, including the commercial and recreational fisheries. Table 2 shows the total revenue losses, total profit losses, and total economic losses in the commercial and recreational fisheries sector. As a result, the economy lost 3.5 billion in total revenue, 1.9 billion in total profit, and 8.4 billion in total economic. Lastly, the health of oil spill workers were also impacted. They experienced shortness of breath, fatigue, skin rash, chronic cough, and PTSD. Even after 7 years exposure, they continued to experience prolonged or worsening illness symptoms. As a summary, the Deepwater Horizon oil spill is the second largest oil spill in the world, spilling about 205 million gallons of oil over the course of 87 days. Even with a robust recovery response from the government, only 25% of the oil was cleaned up. The disastrous event resulted in affecting millions of animals habitating in the Gulf of Mexico and losing about $8.5 billion in the commercial and recreational fishery sector. Even though the oil spill occurred more than 10 years ago, its impact still remains large, and efforts have never stopped to improve the surroundings around Gulf of Mexico. Thank you for listening.